Hey guys, today we are reading Unbreakable. It is book number 1 of the Legion series, and it's by Cami Garcia, and it's a ghost story. So here we go. There are 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil to one who is striking at the root. Henry David Thoreau, Walden. Chapter 1, Sleepwalker. As my bare feet sank into the wet earth, I tried not to think about the dead bodies buried beneath me. I had passed this tiny graveyard a handful of times, but never at night and always outside the boundaries of its peeling iron gates. I would have given anything to be standing outside them now. In the moonlight, rows of weathered headstones exposed the neat stretch of lawn for what it truly was, the grassy lid of an enormous coffin. A branch snapped and I spun around. Elvis? I searched for a trace of my cat's gray and white ringed tail. Elvis never ran away, usually content to thread his way between my ankles whenever I opened the door, until tonight. He had taken off so fast that I didn't even have time to grab my shoes, and I had chased him 8 blocks until I ended up here. Muffled voices drifted through the trees, and I froze. On the other side of the gates, a girl wearing blue and gray Georgetown University sweats passed underneath the pale glow of the lamppost. Her friends caught up with her, laughing and stumbling down the sidewalk. They reached one of the academic buildings and disappeared inside. It was easy to forget that the cemetery was in the middle of a college campus. As I walked deeper into the uneven rows, the lampposts vanished behind the trees, and the clouds plunged the graveyard in and out of shadow. I ignored the whispers in the back of my mind, urging me to go home. Something moved in my peripheral vision, a flash of white. I scanned the stones, now completely bathed in black. Come on, Elvis, where are you? Nothing scared me more than the dark. I liked to see what was coming, and darkness was a place where things could hide. Think about something else. The memory closed in before I could stop it, my mother's face hovering above mine as I blinked myself awake, the panic in her eyes as she pressed a finger over her lips, signaling me to be quiet. The cold floor against my feet as we made our way to her closet, where she pushed aside the dresses. Someone's in the house, she whispered, pulling a board away from the wall to reveal a small opening. Stay here until I come back and don't make a sound. I squeezed inside as she worked the board back into place. I had never experienced absolute darkness before. I stared at a spot inches in front of me, where my palm rested on the board, but I couldn't see it. I closed my eyes against the blackness. There were sounds, the stairs creaking, furniture scraping against the floor, muffled voices, and one thought replaying over and over and over in my mind. What if she didn't come back? Too terrified to see if I could get out from the inside, I kept my hand on the wood. I listened to my ragged breathing, convinced that whoever was in the house could hear it too. Eventually, the wood gave beneath my palm, and a thin stream of light flooded the space. My mom reached for me, promising the intruders had fled. As she carried me out of the closet, I couldn't hear anything beyond the pounding of my heart, and I couldn't think about anything except the crushing weight of the darkness. I was only 5 when it happened, but I still remember every minute in the crawl space. It made the air around me now feel suffocating. Part of me wanted to go home with or without my cat. Elvis, get out here! Something shifted between the chipped headstones in front of me. Elvis? A silhouette emerged from behind a stone cross. I jumped, a tiny gasp escaping my lips. Sorry, my voice wavered. I'm looking for my cat. The stranger didn't say a word. Sounds intensified at a dizzying rate, branches breaking, leaves rustling, my pulse throbbing. I thought about the hundreds of unsolved crime shows I'd watched with my mom that began exactly like this. A girl standing alone, somewhere she shouldn't be, staring at the guy who was about to attack her. I stepped back, thick mud pushing up around my ankles like a hand rooting me to the spot. Please don't hurt me. The wind cut through the graveyard, lifting tangles of long hair off the stranger's shoulders and the thin fabric of a white dress from her legs. Her legs. Relief washed over me. Have you seen a gray and white Siamese cat? I'm going to kill him when I find him. Silence. Her dress caught in the moonlight, and I realized it wasn't a dress at all. She was wearing a nightgown. Who wandered around the cemetery at night in their nightgown? Someone crazy, or someone sleepwalking. You aren't supposed to wake a sleepwalker, but I couldn't leave out here alone at night either. Hey, can you hear me? The girl didn't move, gazing at me as if she could see my features in the darkness. An empty feeling unfolded in the pit of my stomach. I wanted to look at something else, anything but her unnerving stare. My eyes drifted down to the base of the cross. The girl's feet were as bare as mine, and it looked like they weren't touching the ground. I blinked hard, unwilling to consider the other possibility. It had to be an effect of the moonlight and the shadows. I glanced at my own feet, caked in mud, and back to hers. They were pale and spotless. A flash of white fur darted in front of her and rushed toward me. Elvis. I grabbed him before he could get away. He hissed at me, clawing and twisting violently until I dropped him. My heart hammered in my chest as he darted across the grass and squeezed under the gate. I looked back at the stone cross. The girl was gone. The ground, nothing but a smooth, untouched layer of earth. Blood from the scratches trailed down my arm as I crossed the graveyard, trying to reason away the girl in the white nightgown, silently reminding myself that I did not believe in ghosts. That's it. I hope you liked it.